Dragging suitcases and carrying children, tens of thousands of Ukrainians rushed to the borders Saturday, as invading Russian troops pressed on with their march toward Ukraine's capital of Kiev. At least 150,000 people have fled Ukraine into Poland and other neighbouring countries in the wake of the Russian invasion, the UN Refugee Agency said Saturday. Some walked many kilometres through the night while others fled by train, car or bus, forming lines kilometres long at border crossings. Live updates: curfew falls over Kiev. People fleeing the conflict from neighbouring Ukraine arrived to Przemysl train station in Przemysl, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. AP photo Petr David Josek, AP. Ukrainian soldiers picked through debris of invasion battle. They were greeted by waiting relatives and friends or headed on their own to reception centres organised by neighbouring governments. The numbers and the situation is changing minute by minute, Jonga Gedna-Williams, a spokeswoman for the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, said. At least 150,000 people have fled. They are refugees outside of Ukraine. At least 100,000 people, but probably a much larger number, have been displaced inside Ukraine. The agency expects up to 4 million Ukrainians could flee if the situation deteriorates further. Those arriving were mostly women, children and the elderly after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky banned men of military age from 18 to 60 from leaving. A Polish border guard assists refugees from Ukraine as they arrive to Poland at the Curfew border crossing, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. AP photo Czarek Sokolowski, AP. Ukrainian refugees assisted by Polish border police arrive at the Medyka border crossing, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. AP photo Avisa Kraiziu, AP. Some Ukrainian men were heading back into Ukraine from Poland to take up arms against the Russian forces. In contrast to other conflicts around the globe, Russia's unprovoked attack on the Western-looking democracy has ignited a huge outpouring of support for the fleeing Ukrainians. This included an unconditional welcome from nations like Poland and Hungary that did not want to accept those fleeing conflict and poverty in the Middle East and Africa. Regular people were also opening up their homes to refugees and volunteering at welcome centers. Ukrainian refugee mother pushes her baby in a trolley as they arrive at the Medyka border crossing, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. AP photo Avisa Kraiziu, AP. Ukrainian refugees walk along vehicles lining up to cross the border from Ukraine into Moldova, at Myakudobny crossing border point near Myakudobny, Ukraine, Saturday, February 26, 2022. The UN Refugee Agency says nearly 120,000 people have so far fled Ukraine into neighboring countries in the wake of the Russian invasion. The number was going up fast as Ukrainians grabbed their belongings and rushed to escape from a live Russian onslaught. AP photo Sergei Gritz, AP. In Poland, a Facebook page was formed where people were offered rides in private cars from the border and other help. Volunteers even came from elsewhere in Europe to pick up refugees, among them a German couple from Hamburg, who held up a sign at the Polish border town of Medyka saying they could take 3 people home with them. Our country is not doing anything, and we felt we needed to do something, Tonya Schwartz, 51, said. Despite the goodwill, the crush of people became a very real ordeal. Ukrainian family members meet at the Medyka border crossing, in Medyka, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. The UN Refugee Agency said Saturday that nearly 120,000 people have so far fled into neighboring countries, and that number is going up fast. AP photo Bernard Armang, AP photo Bernard Armang, AP. Ukrainian refugees cry as they reunite at the Medyka border crossing, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. AP photo Avisa Kraiziu, AP. Jeremy Myers, from Manchester, England, was on vacation in Ukraine with his Ukrainian girlfriend when the war started. They fled Kiev and waited 23 hours in a fenced-off area where there was no food or water, and which was controlled by armed guards on the Ukrainian side. He witnessed people fighting, getting crushed, and a woman who fainted. "We saw several people get injured. There were no toilets, there was no medical assistance," he said. "You had to stand where you were because if you didn't, you lost your place in line." Former Ukrainian president returns to streets to fight Russia. A refugee, who fled the conflict from neighbouring Ukraine, rests in a school building in Przemysl, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. AP photo. Petr David Josek, AP. People wait for family members to arrive from Ukraine at the Medica border crossing, in Medica, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. The UN Refugee Agency said Saturday that nearly 120,000 people have so far fled into neighbouring countries, and that number is going up fast. AP photo. Bernard Armang, AP. One family from Chernivtsi in western Ukraine waited 20 hours before being able to cross the border into Siret in northern Romania. Natalia Murinik, 14, cried as she described saying goodbye to grandparents who couldn't leave the country. "It really hurt. I want to go home," she said. The largest numbers were arriving in Poland, where 2 million Ukrainians have already settled to work in recent years, driven away by Russia's first incursion into Ukraine when it annexed Crimea in 2014, and seeking opportunities in the booming economy of the European Union neighbour. An employee from the Emergency Situation Inspectorate soothes the crying baby of a family fleeing the conflict from neighbouring Ukraine at the Romanian-Ukrainian border, in Siret, Romania, Saturday, February 26, 2022. Romania, which shares around 600 kilometers, 372 miles, of borders with Ukraine to the north, is seeing an influx of refugees from the country as many flee Russia's attacks. AP photo. Andrea Alexandru, AP. Poland's government said Saturday that more than 100,000 Ukrainians had crossed the Polish-Ukrainian border in the past 48 hours alone. Poland declared its border open to fleeing Ukrainians, even for those without official documents, and dropped its requirement to show a negative COVID-19 test. The line of vehicles waiting to enter Poland at Medica stretched many miles into Ukraine. A Ukrainian refugee girl collects a toy from a pile of donated clothes at the Medica border crossing, in Medica, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. The UN Refugee Agency said Saturday that nearly 120,000 people have so far fled into neighbouring countries, and that number is going up fast. AP photo. Bernard Armang, AP. A mother hugs her daughter at a checkpoint run by local volunteers after arriving from Ukraine, crossing the border in Bereg-sur-Any, Hungary, Saturday, February 26, 2022. Hungary has extended legal protection to those fleeing the Russian invasion. AP photo. Anna Shalagi, AP. A woman from Lviv named Lena described seeing toys and heavy bags along the way that people had abandoned. She was bringing her 4 children to safety in Poland and planned to return to join her husband. Like other Ukrainians returning home as their country fights Russia, she would only give her first name. Even Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, one of Europe's most anti-migrant leaders, travelled to the border town of Bereg-sur-Any, where he said Hungary was accepting all citizens and legal residents of Ukraine. "We're letting everyone in," Orban said. Sisters wait at a checkpoint run by local volunteers after arriving from Ukraine, crossing the border in Bereg-sur-Any, Hungary, Saturday, February 26, 2022. Hungary has extended legal protection to those fleeing the Russian invasion. AP photo. Anna Shalagi, AP. Ukrainian refugee boy sits on top of his belongings as he arrived at the Medica border crossing, Poland, Saturday, February 26, 2022. AP photo. Avisa Kryeziu, AP. Among those arriving at that point were a Ukrainian-British family with their dogs. "We can't leave our dogs," Vlasta Tarasova said, arriving from Uzhhorod. On Saturday, Poland sent a hospital train to pick up those wounded in the war in Mostyska, in western Ukraine, and bring them to the Polish capital of Warsaw for treatment. The hospital train left the border town of Przemysl with 5 carriages